Saturday, 25th of October at 3:53 p.m. here in Snohomish, Washington, United States of America. Welcome once again to our cosmic journey. It's the one where guys ship some software and now they're fixing the bugs.
And adding features.
And a theme song. I am your designer, Jake. He is your engineer, Trey. Hello, Trey.
Hello, Jake.
Well, don't we have some strutting confidence here in that we shipped some software and now we're all like this and we're so excited about it. Anyways,
we are excited.
Actually, we are very excited about it. Generally, we're Libra season. How are you feeling about all of that?
Yeah, it's good. I'm very glad that we have it out in the wild. We immediately got bug reports and feedback from people sort of all over. Yeah, so now it's been out there for a little bit, and we are trying to fix people's bugs, trying to implement people's features, and also working on our planning for what's coming next.
Well, look at you going basically through the agenda. We will, of course, be talking about what's new. We've got hotkeys, angles, and aspects. We're going to talk a little bit about future plans. We have a little rant about publishing things onto digital platforms. But before we get to all of that, of course, we start with the check-in question. Mr. Henry, that is yours.
So the check-in question is, who do you model yourself after professionally?
So for me, and this is a domain celebrity or somebody that is famous within a very particular vertical, and that vertical is within management consulting or consulting in general. I always am trying to model myself after the leadership of the Accenture Song CEO, Ndidi Oteh. Because
shout out to Ndidi.
Ndidi, you're not watching this because you're way too busy, but I'll text you later and say that we made mention of you here. And the reason why I had the privilege of working with Ndidi when she was merely a managing director. Now she is an astronomical.
She's in charge of everything.
She's in charge of everything now. On the Nike account back in the day, and I really appreciated her leadership because she, for all of her knowledge and ability and her charisma and her talents, for all of those things, she also had that swagger of she wasn't there to impress anybody. And this is the thing that certain leaders will have that, but it will be a facade because at the end of the day, they need to be right or they need to be in control. She never needed to be right nor needed to be in control. She was always interested in finding the right answer. And we did that through very contentious ways. There were times in which she and I were incredibly upset with one another, but it's not about never getting upset with somebody or never violating a boundary with somebody. It's about what you do afterwards to make sure that you progress the relationship in the right way. And for me, it's that leadership. We all stumble, we all make mistakes in the way in which we work with other people or the way in which we kind of build relationships. And it's how you recover from those mistakes that shows the character of a person. And the character of Ndidi is so great because every single time, either she or I would come with contrition to repair the relationship because of how much we appreciated each other. And I never saw her needing to pull the highest paid person in the room card. More Ndidis in this world, please. They are the professionals. What about you? Who are you thinking?
Yeah, mine is actually somebody famous that everybody knows, and a little bit cliche, but it's Barack Obama.
Oh, I love that guy.
Yeah, he, in the face of the absolute worst kind of racism and misogyny, and in the most visible of positions, he always maintained decorum. He was always polite. He was always minding his manners, as we'll get into in a minute.
Yeah.
And thinking about how he handled so many difficult situations, and not from a political standpoint. This isn't a political pick at all. It's purely a trying to model the type of professionalism that Barack Obama, I think, brings in all situations, even outside of the White House. I think he exudes confidence, like you were saying.
He's not out to impress anyone.
He's not out to impress anybody. Yeah, it's the difference between hiding behind your name versus being the person that everybody goes to in the room. We have been thinking a lot about professionalism and how to act professionally and how to embody professionalism.
Yeah, exactly.
Rama.
Rama, R-A-M-A, which stands for?
It stands for reliable, accountable,
Mannerful.
mannerful, and adaptable.
That's right. You have to be reliable, you have to be accountable, you have to be mannerful, and you have to be adaptable. Why these reliability is you are true to your word. Your word is your bond.
You accomplish what you say you're going to accomplish, and you are able to delegate when you can't.
Accountable is when things fall apart, either things that you are responsible for or things that are within your realm of responsibility, even if you weren't directly responsible for them. You take real accountability for that, not the kind of fake contrition, not the type of like self-flagellation, but it's not actually anything. Like you are fighting against the unaccountability machine, the organization that is around you.
Yeah, when you enter into a new environment or a new social setting, you enter into it with, how can I help?
Yeah.
How can I support? How can I be useful here?
And also you need to have positive default sentiment. So when somebody comes to you,
or at least you have to look like it.
Or you have to act like it. You have to quiet that voice that is just assuming that people are coming to you for negative reasons and say, like, if I were to say that this was actually, if I was to have a positive default sentiment about this thing that is coming to me, what is a positive reaction to these things? That's also going into manners, right? Like, how do you make sure that you are showing up in a way that is not utilizing your professionalism or your leadership to demean somebody or to belittle someone in order to put yourself into a better position?
Yeah, because it's also how you not just bite your tongue when you want to say something negative, but how you reflect negativities back in a positive way. Or negativities makes it sound like it's trivial, but like if you're in a situation where difficult things are being brought into the mix, you're able to kind of disentangle the things and represent them as a more addressable, something that can actually be easier for people to handle. And then adaptability is really all about, are you able to disanchor? Can you let go of strongly held beliefs? Can you
listen to other people whose beliefs might not be yours, right? Can you find the nuggets of things for even people that you find wholly objectionable, where there is something that they're saying that you can learn and grow from? Because as a very famous astrologer has said, and I have repeated oft times on this podcast, Austin Coppock, the lessons are everywhere. The learning is optional. And who you learn from is optional as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. That's Rama.
That's Rama. Boy, oh boy, that is 16 minutes, unless I've done some edits.
Yeah, but this is wisdom everybody needs. Like, everybody needs to really understand Rama.
And also it's our podcast. It's okay. You fast forward to it. It's fine. Okay. You want to talk a little bit about what's new?
You're watching while you work out anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Like, lift the weights, have something, do some cooking in the background, go do your needle arts while you're listening to this podcast. We appreciate that. What is new in the next version, Mr. Henry?
It's our first.
It's our first second release.
It's our first second release. Yeah, it's our first incremental release on what we have already done. So we will have completely new builds of the application available, unlike in times past where we had pre-release software. Now, after watching this video,
you'll see
we'll have links in the description where you can just go to the release notes. You can read more about it there because there's bug fixes.
Well, how about we show them?
Good stuff. But we did want to show like a couple of kind of cool things that got added, and these were all feedback from
the community, from you all, wherever you are. Even if you're not watching, that's totally fine. We love you anyways.
I think the two big things that we wanted to show are, first of all, we put the hotkeys in the release notes, but it's very difficult to just remember a set of hotkeys just by looking at it one time and then having to go back and like reference something. It's always nice when the application just tells you what the hotkeys are. So now we have a hotkey, which is Command/. So
you do have to remember that one.
Yeah, this is the one. It's just imagine Command ? Right? It's that / ?
Yeah, it's like what? Yeah, where? What?
Yeah,
Command ?
What? And if you hit that, you get a nice little list of the hotkeys in the system.
Yeah. And of course, it is a very minimally viable list of hotkeys. We will, of course, zhuzh that up in the future.
Yeah,
If and when
probably
we have the time.
Yeah, or this won't be as necessary when the Cosmic Console is back in.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that will show the hotkeys for these things as well.
Exactly.
However,
we're in that liminal space. There we are.
yeah, however, so you can hit Command/ here to get the keyboard shortcuts. You'll also notice that we now have a quick way to get to the settings. So if I hit Command, which is very
settings-like,
that takes you to the settings page. This segues into another thing that I want to show. And again, this is not an exhaustive list of stuff. However, we now have 2 new perspective features. We have a show angles, which is listed here with the placement. So which planets you want to see, which lots you want to see. You can now also determine whether or not you want to see the angles in the chart. And if you turn this off, you will not see symbols in a moment ring or projected out from the inner moment for the chart's angles. And you can set this in the perspective, and the perspective goes with the moment. So this will be shareable with charts. We also have the ability to not create aspects to angles. And these are actually separate options. So
showing things versus the aspects. Yeah.
That way, if you don't want to see, aspects to the angles in the chart, in the point detail list, and in the upcoming full list of aspects for the chart, then they won't be displayed. So that's already in the product. That will be shipping out probably today or tomorrow.
We're going to test it first.
Yeah, we need to test it. I have a segue into the final topic.
Well, we're not at the final topic yet, so if you would like to hold off on that segue just for a second, I would appreciate that.
But it's so rare that I have a good segue.
Okay, well, why don't you say your segue, and then we'll give you some. Okay, you don't want to do your segue now?
No.
All right.
It's been built.
Well, I've ruined Trey's segue.
No, you made me nervous.
You can imagine that Trey is on one of those like this, and he just collapsed over. I just pushed Trey off of his segue as it turns off. All right, before we get into Trey's amazing segue, we are going to put a pin in that one. We do want to talk a little bit about the future first, and then we'll go to our rant about stores. Is that the way that you were thinking about this, Mr. Henry?
Yeah. It was the rant about stores.
I thought it was. Yeah. Okay, so we would like the future to be your charts every device. That means that your charts will sit within the app that we now currently have, but also there will be a desktop app, there will be a web app, there will be a phone app of sorts that will be available to you. And as long as you have enough of a connection to get your charts, they won't require any internet past that kind of like syncing with the cloud kind of moment. It'll be everywhere, because what we have heard from astrologers is that they're getting very tired of having to switch apps, switch contexts in order to make sure that their client charts go with them. We have astrologers going to events that are only taking a mobile device with them to do readings at events, and they need to be able to cast charts and get things very quickly. Sometimes you're walking down the street and you've got a moment free where you're standing in line for getting a cronut. That's still a thing, I'm sure. And you just want to look at someone's chart because you have a session coming up in like 3 days. So you just want to pull it out. Like, it should just be this seamless thing. It should be very easy. What you're seeing here is Cosmic on the phone. Here's all of my stuff. Here's a natal chart. I can add transits to it. There you go. And I can go to my birth moment with transits. And not everything is right. Not everything is perfect. Far from it, in fact. There's a lot of things that need to be fixed here. But what we have built already is pretty good. So here are the 2 moments. If I go here, I can see like, here's all the placements for the first moment. Here's all the placements for the second moment. If I tap on one of the placements, I'm going to tap on Jupiter right here in the middle of the screen. I go over and I can look at now, like, here's what Jupiter is transiting right now. Jupiter slowing down, but is in exaltation and in bound. And I can, of course, go back. I hit the back arrow here. I can go back over here. I can back all the way over to here. I can tap on this. I can change the date if I really wanted to. I don't. But again, like, it's a little bit funny with interaction, but it's mostly working. We won't talk about my poor natal Jupiter. We'll talk about my very good natal Saturn in mutual reception with my Mercury, which is quite good. Anyways, all that to say, we are interested in having this be a thing, and we want you to be able to have these things sync up. And so once we become a paid product, and you want to have this paid product on desktop, on mobile, on tablet, all of your screens, we'll just be asking for a either nominal subscription fee per month or a flat fee that you will pay. We will offer both.
Yeah, we don't know all of the details on how payment is going to work exactly yet, but
we do know that there is a huge amount of subscription fatigue, so we're trying to
we have it too. We're with you.
Yes, we're trying to get away from subscription fatigue. We know that sometimes you just want to buy something and own it. We get you. We understand it. We feel you.
It makes things a little bit complicated for us because in the case of synchronization, we
are paying a monthly fee.
Yeah, we are paying, and so we need to pass that cost on. But then also we want to do it in such a way that we can charge you a one-time fee. Anyway, it's
complicated. It gets down to the fact that also here's a fun one. Signing bits, and this is where I would like to now transition to Mr. Henry's story. Signing bits is so painful, and actually there's such a cost disparity between signing a delivery for Mac and signing a delivery for Windows that we may actually need to charge different amounts because it would be unfair to the folks on the Mac platform to pay more because the Windows signing authority costs so much more. Stuff like that. These are the things you have to think about when you're building a company, that you want to be sustainable, that you want to keep providing new things and new value to make this work. That was my transition into talking about the platforms. What was your transition?
Oh, my transition was going to be about the Windows installer saying that it has a virus.
Oh God. Yeah. By the way, the Windows installer says it has a virus. There's no virus. We can talk to you about it.
There is absolutely no virus. That it is a consequence of the fact that we shipped a Windows executable that is not signed in the way that Windows wants you to sign it,
because it's expensive.
Which is a pay for play. You just have to pay a lot of money in order to create an application that runs on Windows.
Some might call it extortion.
The thing I think that is the most disheartening to me as a developer building an application that we ship to multiple platforms and doing this multiple times, while not every Windows user is an astrologer, the value that Windows as an operating system has is because of the software that ships on it. If you are an astrologer, you need astrology software to run on your Microsoft computer. And if your Microsoft computer does not have that, then it is a lot less or possibly has zero value to you.
Yeah.
And so we are the ones that provide value to the platform. And we're also the ones that get the most screwed by the platform.
True.
And we are literally right now in the process of trying to get a signing certificate, which we have to pay a lot of money for. And also we have to jump through hoops of fire with Microsoft using their Azure service, which is not good, in order to get this signing process kicked off. And it's really not fun. It's expensive and horrible.
Yeah. The lesson to learn here is there's a great book called The Unaccountability Machine. You should read it because corporations, governments, actually any large group of people are turned into this unaccountable finger pointing. It's really nobody's responsibility to own anything, that the system owns it. And if the system owns it and no person owns it, then it will fall apart. Our standard by which we find ourselves rating the ability for a company to do a process is now gauged against how easy or hard it is for an American to get a residence permit in the country of the Netherlands. And unfortunately, getting a residence permit for the Netherlands is easier than getting a signed certificate for Microsoft.
Yes.
And Apple is not much better, because also getting your individual Apple account to be a corporate account is also above the bar for getting a residence permit as an American for the Netherlands. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's nuts. It's completely nuts. And I know we talked about this a little bit with the Apple signing last time. We still do have to pay for that as well, but it's a flat, fairly nominal fee.
It's a nominal fee. It is obviously just their covering their costs, as opposed to it being something lucrative for a third party for the Microsoft side.
Yeah, and the thing with Microsoft is that they have, because over many years now, they have created a very lucrative third-party market. They now can't take that away from that third-party market. So they actually cannot provide, there's sort of two tiers of signing certificates, which we could get. One is the lower tier, which is expensive, but still, it's the lowest tier one that you can get. The fancier one, which is the higher tier cert, you cannot get from Microsoft, because if Microsoft sold it at a discounted rate, they would be competing with the third-party market that they created for their pay-to-play scheme.
I have no other metaphor for it other than that.
We should end on a good note, which is that we will have our Windows cert soon. So if you are trying to run the Windows, or you try to update the Windows build, and you see that it has a virus or something like that, it does not. Just give us a little bit of time to get the new signed one. Hopefully we'll have that by our next release.
Why don't you ask me?
A good viewer do with the rest of their weekend.
I think they should be consummate professionals. Just try it on for size. Those pants, they might be a little tight around the waist, but I'll tell you, they fit well after a while. Be a professional. We would love, love, love to see more professionals in this world.
Yeah, Rama.
Be well. Take care. Be a professional. Have yourself a lovely weekend. We love that you're here every week. Give us feedback. Download those bits. Go to cosmic.plumbing. You can download the software today. Until next week, be well, take care, and we love you very much. Goodbye.
Bye.